Women's Day, and for health advice, we're talking about how to set the tone for a healthy and productive school year for kiddos. Joining us is Dr. Ken Heiles, Campus Dean at KCU-Joplin. You're ready to get us off on the right foot for this school year.
We're going to try.
Yeah, good luck getting kiddos ready to be healthy.
Yeah,
and
they're not always the easiest ones to cooperate, to be honest with you. And the older they get, the less cooperative they become.
I have found that to be true. Yeah, that's very true. But you have some great ideas for how to be as prepared as possible for back to school, which is going to happen sooner than later.
Right. I mean, you know, in this area, you're talking within the next 2.5 weeks.
Wow,
pretty much
that's
everybody
crazy.
starts back.
Yeah.
21st and 22nd of August is the majority.
So how do we get kids to put their health at the top of the list like we do? How do we get them to buy into it?
Well, I think that the first thing you do is you know, I've always recommended having a yearly physical, and I think, you know, this is a great time of year because it's consistent, and if you get them in, you know, get them checked out beforehand, make sure everything's okay. If they need vaccinations, you can, you know, get the vaccinations in that time. And more importantly is for the athletes. You know, the student athletes, they really need a good exam, especially a good heart and lung exam, because there's increasing sudden death amongst athletes. Now, you can't detect everything, but one thing you can detect on exam is if they have an irregular heartbeat, or if it sounds like they get a little bit of fluid accumulating in their lungs, which can all lead to like what they call a dilated cardiomyopathy, which is the #1 cause of sudden death in athletes. So, and then if you find anything, then you make sure that they get that further evaluated before you let them on the basketball court, the football field, track, or whatever they're doing.
Is there an age that you think that this should start? Should school age start giving them week or month or yearly physicals?
Yes. You know, you know, pretty much everyone does it whenever they're newborns up through 2 years because they get their their immunizations and in that. But no, I do think that you know, starting at school, it's a good habit to get into, and then you don't get as much pushback from the kids when you want to get them a thorough evaluation for athletics. You know, I know a lot of schools do. Athletic physicals, and you know, in my former life when I was in practice, I used to do about 150 football physicals every year. But you're doing really a screen. But every year I would find 5 or 6 that had an irregular heartbeat that I would make them get you know, further evaluated. Every one of them was able to play. They became what they call benign. But I don't want to make that call.
Sure.
You know, just like sitting here and listening to you, you know, we got the EKGs, they got echocardiograms, and everything checked out okay.
You may be alerting someone who really needed to hear that.
Well,
they'll get in there and get checked out.
That's the goal here.
We've got a few more to hit in the next minute, and this next one I think is huge because a lot of kids in the summer, their sleep schedules just get totally messed up.
Yes.
So it's good to get back on a schedule.
Yeah, I think, you know, good sleep hygiene is really good, and now's the time to do it because we're two to 3 weeks before school starts. So now's the time to do it. Your elementary school, they need, you know, really and truly, they need 10 to 12 hours sleep at night. As we get into the teenagers, 8 to 9 hours of sleep at night. But the big thing, and good luck with the teenagers, but the big thing is to take, you know, not have them have electronics within a year, within an hour or two before bed, because the electronics, you know, it's brain stimulation.
Is it the blue light and all that?
Right, and then it just takes them longer to fall asleep. So with the little ones, a little bit easier because you can just do it. The big ones, good luck with that.
But you know, maybe start it when they're young, and it's kind of at 10
habit.
o'clock we plug our phones in.
It becomes a habit, you know. So, but yeah, that's.
We're going to have to tear through these next ones, but they're absolutely important. We are talking about get proper nutrition and watch the backpack weight. This has become a huge thing in the past 10 to 15 years.
You know, especially with schools getting rid of lockers and the kids having to carry their books back and forth. But you really need to try to limit the backpack to no more than 20% of their body weight. Because
20% of their body weight.
My
no
son
more so.
is so heavy, and he doesn't have a locker, and it's always concerned me, and now you've brought that to light as well. So it is important. I'm going to clean some of that out, whether he wants me to or not.
Right.
So thanks so much for filling us in and kind of giving us some life hacks to get started on this and get this school year started off right.
Well, thank you for the time.
You ready for fall?
I'm ready for it to cool down.
Okay. We'll talk to Chase about that later. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.